Talk this week about housing affordability, and there is no sign that the property bubble in most capital cities is going to burst anytime soon.
Now we'll have a better idea of how hot the property market is after today, which is being dubbed as the first Super Saturday of 2017, with a record number of house auctions. Sydney and Melbourne will be the epicentre of auction action, which has brought warnings for people not to go overboard with their bidding.
Joining us to discuss the real estate market and potential pitfalls are auctioneer Stu Benson and buyer's agent Rich Harvey. Morning to you both. Good to see you, Stu, and nice to meet you. Now, Stu, why is today considered to be Super Saturday?
Purely based on the auction volume that we have, which is essentially the crescendo of 4 weeks' worth of advertising campaigns that basically kicked off on the first week of February. So
it's the same thing every year? This Saturday is Super Saturday?
It tends to peak around this time,
Yeah.
which coincides with what was the launch of those properties 3 and 4 weeks ago.
Yes.
There's a big warning, particularly about today, that people can pay, was it 70% more than what they thought that they were going to pay, or something outrageous? What's your advice about just making sure you don't overbid today?
Well, I think we would all agree that anybody should be doing their maths and looking at the fundamentals. Can we repay this? Could we maybe save a bit of money going a suburb away? So these are conversations that people need to have. If they're in love with a house, level heads need to prevail.
Set a cap.
And set a cap, be flexible with that. I wouldn't say miss it for another 5 or 10 if it was within the budget, but certainly blowing the budget and getting yourself into debt does nobody favours.
Yeah, you're not going to love the house that you're paying too much for.
Correct.
Now, Rich, you've warned people not to become wounded bulls.
That's right.
Now, what does that term mean?
Well, we call it the frustrated buyer. Someone who's been to auction, say, 5 or even 10 times, and they keep missing out and they become completely frustrated. So just like a wounded bull, the next auction, they charge in and they'll pay any price no matter what. Have no relevance to the market value of the property, but they just want to get that property and just pay over the odds for it.
Now, banks are becoming more conservative with their lending. What are some of the dangers there?
It's a great question. Some of the dangers are, as Stu points out, you can overpay for the property. And a lot of people don't realise the bank may not value the property at the auction price. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you paid $2.5 million for a property, but the bank after the auction comes in and values it at $2 million. You're $500,000 in the red. Now, you've got to come up with that other $500,000. Worst case scenario, which a lot of other buyers don't realise, if you default on that property, you not only lose your 10% deposit, but the vendor can sue you for the difference between the new sale price as well. So you can really get yourself in hot water.
I mean, I find that fascinating. If the bank can say your property's not worth what you paid for it, even though some other bidder was prepared to pay $10,000, you know, less than that. Obviously, it is worth, and they can sell it for more than that.
It's an outlier. It's just considered an outlier. It's an out-of-line sale, and they say they can't justify it because the banks are very conservative. And they're getting much tighter with their lending controls.
Well, if you're planning to go and be part of Super Saturday today, listen to Stu and Rich. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.